Hey y'all, N4H and H here, and you're looking at the ham clock. I already informed the Patreon team members about this new version coming out, 4.09, and I gave them a rundown of what the new features are, and so they were prepared for this, but I want to put out this video as kind of a how-to. So you'll notice up here, watch my mouse, you see the version 4.08 is in red. Now, sometimes it may take a while, even after they release it, for it to go red, because they release it in stages so the server doesn't get slammed. But I'll tell you, I looked at mine and it was still gray, but I clicked on it and then it offered the update. So I didn't install it yet though. I'm going to go ahead and do that. But so if you see your version in red, definitely that means there's an update. But even if it's not in red and you know that there's supposed to be an update, you can try clicking the version number anyway. And then this is what you'll get. See, new version 4.09 is available, update now. I'm going to let that time out a little bit so you can read the new changes. Mousing over panes with spots marks them on the map, shows the info. So if you can mouse over a call sign, it's going to show you the details. That's going to be helpful for SOTA and POTA, because those panes would not show you if somebody was, say, on 14.061.5. It would round that off. It wouldn't be able to show you the .5. But now when you hover over it, you'll actually be able to see that in more details about the spot. Anyway, you can see there, I'm gonna do a little show and tell and show you that basically they've got a new feature called On the Air that will combine SOTA, POTA, and WWFF, Worldwide Flora and Fauna. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and click yes to install, and don't interrupt. But yeah, you can read the new changes. I'll go over the main new feature here in this video as we update here. Okay, so I'm gonna click here and set up. Yeah, just click anywhere on the screen to do the setup. I want to show you page 2. I want you to see that, because a couple of things. I've got it set here. I want the DX cluster to function, so I've got that turned on. Now, I've covered a lot of this, and if you've been watching my whole series about the ham clock, a lot of this was covered in the first couple of videos. I want the DX cluster to function, and I get a lot of people that ask me this who didn't watch my first couple of videos, and they'll say, how do you get your DX cluster to function or to turn on? It's not even going to be an option unless you make this right here say yes. See, you got to have that turned on. Now, also too, what I'm doing is a filter here. You got a choice here of not, highlight with red, or only show, like this right here would only show call signs in the spot list that begin with WK or N. That's not DX for me. And then there's you can turn the filter off. But I have it set for do not show whiskeys, kilos, or Novembers. I don't want to see US stations in my spot list on the DX cluster. Now you might be thinking, well, wait a minute, what about the letter A? Because there are some call signs in the US that start with A. Well, if I filter out A, I will lose some other countries that do have an A in there. So I can only really do the WK and N. This is the DX cluster that I use. It's actually managed by the guy who is a beta tester for ham clock. So he always makes sure this one here works very well with ham clock. So my suggestion is that you use this one here. And those are the credentials. You want port 7300, and the host is dxspider.co.uk. And then you put your call sign in there for login. Now over here, cluster commands. I don't want to see FT8 spots. Not that I never do FT8, but I find it more challenging to work DX on CW or sideband. So I don't want to even see spots for FT8. So these first 3 lines here take care of that. Do it exactly the way you see it there. You got the clear / spots all, reject spot, and this is basically a slot number. So reject spot, slot 0, will mean on all data. So I want to reject all data. And then this one here, reject spot 1. Each one of these is a different slot number, so you don't want to duplicate. Just give it the next available number. So this one is going to delete info related to FT8 or FT4. It has to be typed exactly the way you see it there. And then this last one, I don't want to see DX spots for 2 meters or 70 centimeters. So that's how you filter those out. And then, you know, you got a few other screens here. I'll just skip through them and you can see how I'm set up. The one I wanted to show you here, see the pane rotation right here. So I've got mine set for every 30 seconds, it'll rotate a pane. Now, if you're not familiar with what I mean there, it's when you have more than one thing selected to see in the same little window, little pane. And so if you select more than one, every 30 seconds, it'll switch them out. You can change that. You've got every 60 seconds, every 5 seconds, every 10 seconds. I do every 30. The rest of these, I think I just leave these like normal, like you see there. And then down here, there's I do show the spot path and I have it set for thin. What that's going to be is you'll see a little square where the person is who spotted that DX station. And then you'll see the call sign of the DX station on the other end, or, well, I should point this out right over here. Spot labels. I have it set to see the entire call sign. You could have none, or you could have a dot, or you could have just the prefix. So let's say the call sign is VK6EAU. Well, you wouldn't, if you have it set on prefix, you'll just see the VK6. But if you set it on call, which is call sign, then you'll actually see the entire call sign. I like to see the entire call sign. And then, like I say, the path, I set it to thin because if you set it to thick, it's going to be really big on your screen. And then down here, map rotation. So you can select more than one map to display. And I've got it set to cycle the maps every 60 seconds. So again, that's where you control that. And I'm going to hit done. There was another screen where you set up colors, and I had a recent, I think my most recent video had to do with setting up the color scheme on the maps. And we're almost there. Here we go. Now, I had this pane here set for soda, and look what it did. It's just defaulting to the local weather. And I expected that because of this new feature. Now you see up here now it's 4.09, and looks like the VOICAP interface here is just a little bit sharper. Yeah, a little bit sharper. And, you know, so VOICAP, like if you click on a call sign, I'll just click one here. It's going to put a green dot where they are, wherever that went. There's a lot of spots in there right now. And it'll tell you their distance down here, 6850. Where is that station? Let me click another one. Okay, you see this P32A, you see that green dot right there? Those are the lines I was talking about, thin. And if you watch my video on how I colored the lines, they're colored according to the frequency. So orange up here is 10 meters, so orange lines are 10 meters, and 10 meters has been hot today, really, really hot. Of course, there's a contest going on too. I've got that color coded, and now on the warp, if it's a warp band, it'll be dashed. I think I see one there, right along in there. If it's a warp band, it'll be dashed. That's just how I set it up. Again, watch that video about my color schemes. All right, so I'm going to go up here to this pane here and click, and the new feature is called On the Air, and there it is right there. I'm going to click it. Now, it used to be that we had, and I'm going to uncheck this one, my local weather. DE, you know, from my weather. DX would be the DX weather. Well, it's over here. See, you got a DE pane here and a DX pane. So that's me. That's whoever I just clicked on, where that 6,176 miles away to that P32A right there, that green dot. Okay, but before we had SOTA and POTA in here as separate things, and you could click both of them, and then that pane would cycle those out. Now it's just called On the Air, so I'm going to click that. Whoop, I let it time out. Let me get it there. All right, see, now that's the new look. It's called On the Air, and it defaults to all. It's going to show SOTA, POTA, and WWFF, which is, again, that's the worldwide flora and fauna. It's a look it up online, Google it. It's about promoting outdoors amateur radio, which, of course, SOTA and POTA are definitely outdoors. Soda, you hike mountains, and POTA, you go to parks. All right, but if you click in here, click the word all, you can set, so for example here, I can change, I say I don't want to see spots that are older than 10 minutes. I can do that. Now I'm going to put it on 60 for now, and I'll explain why in a minute. I want to sort by age, so I want my spots to be, well, I didn't show you this part in the menu, but I've covered it in a previous video. There's a spot in there, normally out of the box, it shows the newest spots here at the bottom, and it works its way up, so the oldest ones are at the top. You can reverse that in the setup menu, and I did mine where the newest ones are at the top and the oldest ones are at the bottom. So I want to sort by age, and it'll sort according to the way I set it up in the menu, top to bottom. And go back in there. I let it time out. Now right here you can say organization, and if you don't want to see all, I'm going to do soda, and then you put a space and POTA. All right, I'm not adding WWFF. All right, and then I'll show you one more time here. Here's this off option that you saw earlier. You can put in something like VK. I only want to see VKs. Or what I'm saying here is I'd say show me VKs in red. So they would be in the spot list over here in the on the air list. You can do the same thing over here with the DX cluster. You can say, you can filter to where anything in the VK is going to highlight in red. Or you can say only show me VK. So then it narrows the list down to only VKs. Or you can say not, which is what I did in the main menu for the DX cluster. I said, don't show me WK or N. And that's where that would go. Again, no commas, just spaces between them. And then, of course, back to off. So the way it's set right now, every 60, I'm going to see 60 minutes worth of spots. And they're going to sort top to bottom because I told it to sort by age. And in my menu settings, I told it top down. And then I'm going to narrow it down to just soda and POTA. I'll hit OK. And let it refresh. Now, if you see a blank over here, maybe something will pop up here in a minute, but let me try this. I'll click the down arrow. Oh, there's one. See the M's? Okay, so that means that spot is between 10 and 60 minutes old. If it's blank, it's less than 10 minutes old. This is something new. If you see an H there, that means the spot is an hour or more old. And let me just tell you, I mean, look how, of course, wow, look at all this coverage over here on the left. It is a contest weekend, so there's a whole lot of activity. But, I would see right now it's showing soda. Look at that. See it? See, it says soda. Let's let it go ahead and do its thing. See it blinking? When it starts blinking, it switched over to POTA. So that's the rotation every 30 seconds. It's switching between them. That's one new feature. For me, I don't want to see anything an hour old. In fact, here, what I'm going to do, I don't even want to see anything more than 10 minutes old. So I'm going to change that. Okay, now let me talk about this other thing. You notice over here on the DX cluster, they'll show you if somebody's on a decimal, like here, 21332.6. So they're not exactly on 21322. Over here, they don't. You can see why. It's really jammed in there. They don't show you if they're on a .5 or a .6 or whatever, and because they're out of display room here. This is reserved for how many minutes old. Again, blank means less than 10 minutes. M means between 10 and 60 minutes. H means that it's an hour or more. So they just cram for space there, and in order to show the call sign and the soda summit ID. Now POTA is a little bit more room because they're shorter IDs, but they don't. Like I said, you won't see the decimals here. But if you hover over a call sign in here, look on the screen down here and you're going to see a red circle. You see that? Every time I touch a call sign, it's showing me where they are on the map. That's really cool, especially when the map's cluttered like it is right now with all those call signs out there. And so I'll do this 28062. That's over in Japan, and you see the red circle over here. All right. Now, but look over here underneath where it says terrain. See, I've got my map set for the terrain map. All right, but right below it, watch the drop down. When I click on one of these, when I hover over a call sign, it tells you all the details there, and it'll let you know if they are on an incremental frequency. So let me do this one here, 14.261.4. So if we look over here, 14.261, oh, it changed on me, 14.261.4. So if you hover over one of them, it's going to tell you exactly the frequency they're on, and it'll give you the other info too. You saw in there, you're getting age, gives you the details of the age, their temperature, cloud cover, it's saying on that one there. So let me try this one over here. I wonder if one of these is incremental. He's 28.061.9. See, that was rounded off. Again, be watching right over here, and the red circle is showing you where they are physically on the map. So I'll try this 14.052, and he's dead on 14.052. You see F frequency, and that spot's 1 minute old. So you get your details by hovering over their call sign. If you're down here on the map and you do it, there we go. If you get it on a call sign, it's a little easier to do it up there. But if you get it on one down here on the map, there you go. See when you get the big red dot. So now I'm on that spot, and it's giving me the details. It's a little easier to do it up here, I think. And then, but what's cool is this new feature where you select them up here and you go, wow, it's so cluttered. Where are they? Well, it's putting that nice red circle there to let you know where they are. I think it's really nice. I think this whole on the air pane is really a nice step forward here. And again, you see it every 30 seconds switching between POTA and SOTA. And again, when you see this outer border here blinking, that's your dead giveaway that it is about to switch data to show you between POTA and SOTA, because those are the two I have selected. And again, you do that right here. Org SOTA space POTA is how I did it. And again, there's WWFF as well. I've got my age set for 10 minutes, sort by age. And again, up here, if you click on the air, this is where you can turn that off and turn something else on. By the way, you have to turn something else on first, and then you can turn that one off. You can't have nothing there. That's not any different than how it's been in the past. But yeah, really cool new feature. And over here on the DX cluster, just you could click in here, and there's where you set the age, and there's where you set the filters. Now, you may recall when I went through my menu, I already set those up in the menu, but I could come in here and change it. I could change it here, but I had it preloaded in my startup menu a while ago. I showed that to you. And again, I could say only, turn it off, or I could say highlight in red if they're a WK or N, only show me WK or N, don't show me WK or N, and that's how, of course, how I have it set. So I'm going to cancel that out there because I didn't want to change that. Hey, one other thing I want to show you, just a nice thing, that we've always been able to click a certain band up here on the VOA cap and have it give us a propagation map for that band, like where your coverage is, what your reliability, I should say, is. So down there's a reliability scale down here at the bottom. You see that? So 80% is green, 60% yellow. In other words, what are your chances of working somebody in that area? Like right now, my chances to work anybody over here are slim to none. But I have a 100% chance of things that are in green on the 17-meter band. You see the little blue dot up there? Now, if I check, I'll click on 10 meters and let it calculate. We've been able to do this in the past. The difference was it now highlights it and puts a little blue dot there. So now I'm looking at where my 10-meter coverage is, where my best chances are for 10-meter coverage, I should say. So again, if it's in the, if it's green, 80 to 100% coverage. So yellow over here means that's 40 to 6, around 50 to 60% really. 40, you could maybe, 40 is beginning to border a little bit on that orangish color, but so you might have a stab at it over here, but in these areas here that are green, 10 meters should be functioning for you. So you can, click and do that on any particular band and just let it recalculate the map. And then again, you're looking at your chances, your probability of being able to work stations in various parts of the world based upon this reliability scale down here. Green's good, Red's not so good. Yellow is iffy. How about that? Scientific explanation. And if you're finished looking at a particular band, just see I've got 10 highlighted right now. Just click it and it'll go away, and then it'll redraw the map. And so now you're back to the normal vocab where you click on a call sign, and now it's telling me what are my chances to work that particular station. And right now 10 through 30 would have a chance to get that station I just clicked on. And again, you know, there they are in red down here at the lower left. This one here I just clicked on. There we go. So, all right. Just wanted to show you that extra. All right, so I hope you found the video helpful and informative. Please stand by for another half a minute or so. I want to recognize 5 of the Patreon team members I call long haulers. Without them, this video wouldn't exist. They help cover the expenses of doing this channel, you know, because I try to remain sponsorship free. I don't align with any manufacturer in order for me to be objective about anything I show you. And the reason I'm able to do that is because of Patreon members like these 5 that I want to recognize right now. Again, hey, thanks for watching videos on my channel in 73 from N4HNH.